This is Han Solo, and I'm going to be keeping you company for the next few hours right here on the Midnight Shift.
It's time to BS.
And there we are. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen, to BS Sessions Volume 43. Joining me, old friend of the show, longtime friend of the show, and believe it or not, the very first co-host of this shit show that we did. Over 6 years ago, we did this. So, for context purposes, me and Mike have been doing podcasting for 8 years? Roughly?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because I remember when I was working at the ballpark, and that was the 2019 season. So you definitely got 2019. I'm not for sure if it's even before then.
I started in 2018. So, and it was 43 episodes prior. I think it was like 2017. I think we started the Sports Cave. So the very first incarnation of this podcast was the Sports Cave podcast. It was, 43 episodes long. You were one of the guests on there. You were one of the very first ones I had on there. And then you became on as a co-host along with Kyle and a couple other people and stuff like that, which I haven't heard from Kyle. I've talked to Kyle a few times, but not like regular conversations and shit, not for a while. But if you're listening, bro, hope you're doing well, boss. Congratulations on getting fucking married, by the way.
Absolutely.
So, and then we rebranded into Time to BS, and then you went on to go do your own shit and get fucking way the fuck out there in terms of success rate. I'm fucking pumped for you, dude. Like, seriously, because I check out your subscribers every now and then on both Twitter and YouTube. I'm like, holy shit, he's killing it. He's fucking doing great. That. He's doing fucking great. And
so are you, though, dude.
Thanks, dude. Michael McClintock, longtime friend of Time to BS and the host of the Air Raid Attack podcast, comes in and joins me and has water instead of whiskey. The fuck?
I have no alcohol in the house right now, so I'm a little
Really?
behind. So, I had the 2.5 weeks of vacation that I had to use up before I lost it. So, during that time span, needless to say, I kind of went down and now I got to play catch up. But hey, water is good for now.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. I see you're streaming somehow on YouTube and on your YouTube end. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I didn't realize when that you can share when you're a guest on somebody else's show. You can share it to your stream to help publicize your podcast. Any way I can help out, then hey, I'm down for it.
How you been, dude? It's been a while since we've gotten together, have a good conversation, shit like that. Because we've talked in spurts, via text and shit like that. But I always enjoy doing BS sessions with the people that I can have a really good fucking conversation about whatever with.
Well, of course.
And you're certainly one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So how you been, dude?
Dude, I'm not too bad. It was a rough patch from August till, I don't know, probably the end of the year. Work for me from August till November is always hectic during football season. But
yeah,
I pushed myself to the limit this year, and probably not as I should have. And I know on Facebook, it's streaming on Facebook, so I'm not going to say anything that I don't want out there. But my boss is able to watch it, and that's perfectly fine. She'll know exactly what I'm about to say, so no big deal.
Hi, boss.
What's up, Jill? But anyway, no, I pushed myself to the limit this year, and in a 2-week vacation that was desperately needed came about at the right time. So, man to man, dude, mentally, I was starting to lose it a little bit. Not gonna lie, and
well, what's up?
So, well, when you work a lot, and you don't really see people and so on and so forth. You kind of, you push you. What's the right way? What did I tell Wong a while back? More so, you I got to where we were as a company with the university, and the success that we had and the success that I had as the product manager was something that they haven't ever seen. So long story short, and we all know that when you're doing a great job, you want to keep doing a great job. But I got that a little to my head, and kept pushing myself to the point that literally, if we had these, if I would, if I had a smallest conversation with either my franchise owner or with somebody just in general, I would quickly snap, just
Ooh.
because it was not the pressure and not the complaints, because we end up with no complaints throughout the whole season, but it was just the fact that what I say is how I want it to go. Even though how it's structured, the franchise owner is the boss when it comes to their employees. So I have to, go to the franchise owner, hey, can you X, Y, and Z and do this, that, and something else? It's not like when I was managing the ballpark or, the school district here locally or
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. My I was getting I was becoming egotistic. My ego was getting the best of me. And so I would easily snap at the most stupidest stuff. And so it got to the point that my OCD then kicked in. Well, then I kept pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself to the point that there was one game, it was a South Carolina game on October 19th. I literally pushed myself, Dan. I'm, honest as God's my witness. I had 7 energy drinks that
Oh.
day. 7. And
Ooh.
and they were Celsius, but it was the fact that it was 7.
Yeah.
I think I can do 4. I'm pretty all right. I know they're not good for you regardless, but I
I
can do
can't do
that
more
much.
than 2. I can't do more than 2 anymore because I get screamed at by my fiance. So I get screamed at by you, babe. I know you're watching.
But no, I mean, it was to the point that, dude, I would hardly eat, and it was energy drinks or vice versa or whatever the case might be, and so there was a time that we got stuck with an unfortunate situation that led to me working 36 hours straight and being up for 38 hours and so on and so forth, dude. It was the success that I had and the success that we had as a team. At towards the end, it was we all want to be right there, like, oh, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, as they always say, the light at the end of the tunnel. Literally, dude, I let that get so bad mentally to my
Yeah.
head that I was to the point I would do anything and everything to make sure we had what I would call a perfect season, so to speak. And it led me to isolate myself. And I've had these conversations with Wong and Herman Raj, and even when Herman Raj came down for the OU Alabama game, which, by the way, all you Alabama fans, we broke you. Just so you know. But but anyway, um, but no, I mean it's and even when Herman Raj came down and we talked in Norman and so on and so forth, and like I flat out apologize. I'm gonna do the same thing towards you. Is I apologize. I'm going to apologize to you. Is I wasn't that great of a person towards the end, from August to November. Pretty much, I was isolating myself,
I hear
and
you.
it got to the point, like I even told my boss, I don't have the balls to think about suicide. I don't,
No.
because with my luck, first of all, wholly, I would screw that up. I would screw everything all up, and I will still make it through. But to sit here and say that thoughts haven't been in my mind, maybe not suicidal, but to isolate myself to where down the road, if that was an option, I would have pulled the trigger on whatever that could have been.
In
I
that
was
case, you did the
isolating
right
myself
thing. In that
so
case, you did
bad.
the right thing by cutting the drinking out today. So
And that's where exactly, and that's where the energy drinks came from. Was It was non-point, the non-stop grind of the work. And yeah, it can get grinding, but I was pushing myself to the point that a lot of it was unnecessary grind. If that
You
makes
burned
sense.
yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
You burned yourself out really fast. And there's nothing wrong with going hard, and there's nothing
Right.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with going hard in the paint. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Back at my job, there was a point in time where I was working from 7 o'clock in the morning and from 6 o'clock in the morning sometimes until 6 o'clock at night. I was doing 12 hours, 11-hour days, 10-hour days most of the time, which is not bad. Like the 10-hour days are not that bad.
Nah.
But
They're
then,
doable.
baby Megan would tell me, it's like, you're getting a bit of an asshole. You're becoming a bit of an asshole. And I'll say, I'm burnt out. And I would need to tell my bosses here, and he was like, no, I need to take the afternoon to myself, blah, 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 which there's nothing wrong with putting yourself first. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just, it's ingrained into our heads as, not to get too masculine or anti-feminine here, but, it's ingrained to us as, as men, suck it up.
Yep.
Just suck it up.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm sure you can speak to that as yourself. I can speak to that on my end. And there's nothing, and you're seeing it a lot more where you're starting to see guys, especially just going, hey, I need some time to myself here and there. I'll do that. I'll do that even. I'll tell some people like I need some time to myself, or I need time with Megan, blah blah blah. Like I'll spend time with the family. I'll go to the beach here and there. Like I'll do stuff that makes me happy and stuff like that. And you're doing, I don't know what else you've been doing that's been helping you out and stuff like that. But to come on here and say that, yeah, you've had some like shitty thoughts, it's fucking ballsy of you to say. And this is a comfort zone. You know that
Absolutely.
this particular program I like to call the Comfort Dojo, as you have known for years. So, and Matt Mish was on here a few months ago, and he talked his story, and that was a fun time. That was a really good time. But there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself in the long run, but there's also nothing wrong with, hey, I need to go work my ass off in order to get what I want. Nothing wrong with that at all. And sometimes even as people, we fail to find a balance between work and life. That's hard to do. That's hard to do. It's hard to do, man. And for you to keep going and just say like, holy shit, I've been just isolating myself. That's
well, yeah, because it got to the point, and just so everybody knows out there, I'm perfectly fine mentally. Never did I had a thought of suicide. And that's when people go out there. Oh, Mike's I'm good. Trust me, I'm good.
I know you are.
But no, dude, it got really, really, really bad. And, I kept telling Wong, a friend of ours, Jimmy Wilkinson, a former OU great and former Chiefs player as well, passed away unexpectedly a few weeks back. And so,
oh shit,
I text Wong and I asked him if this was true. He said, yeah, and so on and so forth. And, the friendships I form with you and Wong, Coach George, and Herman Rod, and the list goes on, is genuine. And like I told Wong, I said, hey, I'm sorry, and literally I'm like, I'm sorry. And Wong's a good dude. I love that dude to death. And so
he's such a good dude.
For
those who do not know, Wong Lam of the Defining Moments podcast, he's a fucking G. He is such a genuinely great dude. And if you ever need like someone to go talk to, and he will give you a brutally honest fucking opinion of what you are doing with your life, he will tell you. He will
absolutely.
tell you. Absolutely, with no questions asked. So
he's a good dude, and I kept telling him, I'm sorry, but we're gonna catch up and all this, and no, so long story short, it's just I isolated myself. Literally, I let the success that we had get to the point to where everyone can literally wait on me at this point, if that makes any sense. Means
yeah, it does.
Yeah, hey, let's talk about X, Y, and Z. Yeah, but then I'm like, I'm focusing on what I want and this, that, and something else. So anyway, it was a hectic from August to November, and December was kind of busy, but not as busy. And so I had to take my 2 weeks of vacation and came at the right time. So I get to go back to work tomorrow, and
Hey, there you go.
but it won't be as hectic as it was the last
Good.
3, 4, or 5 months. So all is
Good.
well. But yeah, it was it was a pretty interesting few months, and lost a lot of weight doing that too. And
I see it in your face a little bit. You seem less pudgy in your face, which is good. I'm happy for you, seriously.
lost 2 pant sizes to be exact.
No shit, good for you.
So a lot
That's
of
awesome.
walking, and I don't know what else. So I will get medical check just to make sure we're good, but I'm sure we are.
You should be fine.
Yeah.
If you're as long as you cut down the energy drinks and stuff like that, and limit your caffeine intake to help your heart and stuff like that. As long as you're walking as long as you're walking, you're going to the gym here and there and blah blah blah. Take care of yourself, dude, because you tend to do that. You tend to go way too hard in the paint sometimes. It's just
Yeah, I'm a little too rough around the edges.
which is fine. We have our moments. We do have our moments. Like, so I was what the fuck was I doing the other day? I was doing deadlifts, and I'm not proud to admit this. I pulled my pelvis out of place
Ooh.
one time because I was deadlifting too much, and I was basically damn near crippled for a month. Like it hurt to walk, it hurt to bend over, it hurt to like just move and stuff. And I finally went to the chiropractor. I was like, "Hey, what's going on? Your pelvis is completely out." Like, what?
Holy
So,
crap.
like, yeah, your pelvis is completely out. We got to get this adjusted like now. Like, oh shit. So, what ran into my mind was like, hey, you might need to get surgery, but like, I didn't need to get surgery. Thank fuck for that. But, it's not something that I'm proud to admit. It's like, hey, I did it to myself. But, Megan's been a huge help and trying to like say, hey, just do more cardio and stuff like that. And I got, I'm going to a new gym. It's like 2 minutes down the street
Nice.
from my apartment, and it's huge. It's a huge ass gym. And one of the trainers, who hopefully I will get his ass on here too, is an ex-Marine. So the crayon jokes are in play. And
Thank you for your service, kind sir.
yes, Billy, thank you for your service, bro. And he gave me some good tips. And he said, start your workouts out with cardio because it'll get the heart rate moving a lot better. So you won't just break yourself on strength training like right out of the gate. And it's been helping. It's been helping a little bit. So, and I do like to get my cardio in because I do hit the bag a lot. So I've been doing a lot of pad training with the punching bag. So that's nice.
I love that. I love the punching
It's
bags.
so good.
I
It's
love
so
the punching
good.
bags.
It's so good. It gets the frustrations out and shit. It's fucking awesome. But no, it's the fact I'm getting married dude is like, wow.
Well, first
Still
of all,
blo-
congrats, and has that sunk in yet?
Thanks, dude. But it hasn't. But it has. So we had the engagement party in September,
Right.
and that was awesome. And then the next day we had the engagement shoots. For the first 2 months of being engaged, it didn't sink in. I'm not gonna lie. And I will tell you why. So, and she knows this. She knows this that I dealt with some shitty women in the past, that just fuck with my head here and there, and she knows that. She knows the stories. She knows all of it. And every now and then my brain will play tricks on me and she'll like, hey, is this real? Like she ain't gonna fuck with you? Like no, she's fine. She's great.
Right.
Yeah, right? It's like, she ain't gonna fuck with you yet? It's like, no, you're fine. It'll still mess with me here and there. But then it helps with the whole reassurance shit. But it sunk in especially when we book the venue.
Nice.
And it's we are coming on we are 14 months away from the actual day. So it's sunk in. It has sunk in, especially with the first few payments. And the fact we're slowly getting pictures, and she even picked out her dress like a month after we got engaged. So look at her, she's texting me right now. She's texting me right now. I get the heartbeat on the on as my vibration tone. It's like a heartbeat for her and stuff like that. So she knows she's watching.
Nice.
But no, it's every now and then my head will just go and say, "You're fucking worthless, you piece of shit." But then I'll have to remind myself it wasn't a month. She's texting me like, really? It wasn't a month? How long ago was it?
And that's how it is, and I think when you have good things, and it doesn't matter what it is, work, it doesn't matter what it is. It's amazing how strong our mind is and how it can easily play these games and not really make us contradict on what we're doing or second guessing ourselves, I guess is a better word, but it's insane to know, when you have something good and then your mind's like, hey, but remember this time, and goes,
oh God, do I have a story for you? So, I knew that I was gonna propose to her. I think maybe like 6 or 8 months into us dating. That I pretty much was when we first. Before we officially started quote unquote dating,
right,
we were just still talking and stuff like that. And what has been clicking in my head since before the engagement was the leap of faith. You take that leap of, and she said, sometimes you got to take that leap of faith. And when I asked her like, hey, will you be my girlfriend and blah, blah, blah. I pretty much said like, I think I led up with, I'm going to take that leap of faith. And, I got the ring from Vancouver, from fucking Etsy of all places, and I will, gents and ladies, if you're ever thinking about getting married, go to fucking Etsy. There's no shame in that.
No,
absolutely no shame. And when I got the ring, I literally proposed to her that fucking night.
Nice.
And there was mixed reactions. That's a whole other story for another time. But
right.
But it was that saying kept playing in my head, the leap of faith, leap of faith, leap of faith. And it was pretty much like, you know what, if I'm gonna do this, I don't want to be a pussy, I'm just gonna do it now. And I did. And I do not fucking regret it. I still don't any regrets? Any regrets, Dan? Nope. Zero.
That's how it should be.
It's how it fucking should be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it makes me laugh because growing up, I always thought I was gonna quote unquote die alone.
Right.
I thought that's all I wanted growing up was someone who wasn't like family or friends that actually like gave a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And after various breakups and shit and various whatever the fuck, it starts to hit. It starts to hit in your head when you go, you know what? Maybe whenever it happens. And a good friend of mine who was at the engagement party told me this, and I'm going to keep it as PG as possible what the fuck he said. Until I'm going to keep it as PG as possible. Until some life-loving, gun-shooting, America-loving broad comes into your life, stay the fuck single. That lasted for like 4 fucking months, and then we started talking, and then I met Megan on Facebook, of all fucking places. So, and over a year and a half later, here we are. So, it's still wild. I have to pinch myself and just go, I'm getting married? What the fuck? It's wild. It's fucking wild. And she knows this, and I'll still pinch myself, and I'll have to ask for reassurance here and there. But she's a fucking gem.
Well, when you get someone that is a gem, you always got to pinch yourself because you're waiting, especially when you've been hurt in the past. You're waiting on that one slip or whatever, and as they always say, the walls come crumbling down. And
Yeah.
but I don't see that in this one.
Hell, she hasn't caught on yet that I'm a fucking weird. I don't know what will. Oh, she just texted me. It was a month after. she did get the dress a month later. So I was right, motherfucker. No, it's great. It really is. So, and you felt that way when you met Alita, and I'm sure she's gonna watch this or listen to this.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, if she hasn't already.
Yeah, and 3 kids later. You still pinch yourself here and then. You go, holy fuck! I have 3 kids and a gem of a wife.
I definitely do now. Really, I still do, but more so in a way with the kids. It's because, my oldest is a sophomore in high school.
Holy shit! Really?
My youngest son is about to hit the junior high realm, and
Blake's the oldest, right?
Isaac.
Isaac's the oldest, right?
Yep.
Okay, apologies.
No, you're good. And then Blake's the youngest, well, middle child, youngest son, and he's creeping up into the junior high realm now. And then Miss Victory over here, she's still getting going, but she's already into her elementary school years. So
hey.
It's because I was telling, well, she's the director of operations, but she used to be my boss before I took over OU. But we were talking. It's like I'm like, I'll be what, not even 50. If I am, I barely passed 50 when all my kids are graduated. So
wow.
So yeah, it's I'm gonna be young when they all leave, or graduate at least. But no, I mean I pinch myself.
Hey, that means you get more time to retire with life. You know what I'm saying? More time to retirement. You and Melina both.
So no, I mean it's no, I still pinch myself here, but especially when it comes to the kids, because especially the oldest, because man, it feels like it was little to. He's probably past my height, and that's fine. I'm not one of those parents like, oh, he's taller than me. I'm like, I don't care. I just don't care.
I'll joke with my mother here and there, and she knows this. I'll joke with her, and it's like, Mom, do you need me to get you anything from the top shelf or some shit from the top of the refrigerator? Because like me and my dad are the same height. I'll joke with her, and be like, you gotta get it. It's just.
Well, I mean, I look at it this way, like I tower both my parents, and so I mean it's no big deal. I don't. I'm glad he's taller than me. So
how's he doing?
He's hanging in. Could be better. I'll put it that way, but
I hear
you. For everyone that's out there, he back in August had another episode or another stroke, and that's when they come to find out that he has cancer. And so it's treatable, it's not curable.
Oh,
so but we're hoping this month, I don't remember when the appointment is, but as long as everything's fine, he'll be in remission this month. But it varies. So he entered the chemo at 22 with his white blood count. I know last I heard was 8 or 9, so
oh shit,
it's dropped. But
all right, that's good.
There's some things that could be better, but I also understand and kind of like that,
Yeah.
I accept that he's, unfortunately, there's just some things that's just not going to happen, and that's one of them, of him being completely healed. But at this point, I'll be honest with you, man. The days I cherish the days I do see him, or even just in general, because like I was telling in a way a colleague of mine, but even though he's a franchise owner's employee, I was telling him a few weeks back, um, you know, it's just a matter of waiting on that call. I hate saying that, but that's where we're at. So,
I hear you, dude.
he's 66 and he's still, he's still fighting. The fact that he's willing to go through chemo, I give mad respect for, because massive strokes, multiple of them at this point, and you can't see your daily life is really non-existent in a way, because you can't drive, you can't mow, you can't bathe yourself, feed yourself. I mean, the list goes on and on. So,
Really, you can't
um,
see?
no, no.
Holy shit!
So, you know, and that's why people, always ask me who's my hero. I got a lot of heroes, but my dad would definitely be up there,
Of
and
course.
it's more so, if it was me, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I want to do chemo. I mean, that's just me.
Dude.
I mean, I don't know, but but that's my dad, and he obviously still wants to keep fighting, but he requested, and he's asked for me to do his funeral service, so I will do that. But
Of course.
I can't promise I'm not going to cry the first 10 minutes before I even say a word. But
Oh, dude, I'd be pissed at you if you didn't. I'd be pissed at you if you didn't. What the fuck? I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Let it out, asshole.
No, exactly. That's when my dad would be like, what's going on here?
He's gonna
So
come back from the dead and slap you across the face and then die again.
now
no, don't do that.
he's like, I'll just do it 15. He always tells me, just do it 15 minutes and call it a day. I'm like, Dad, you lived a good life for 15 minutes. You at least get an hour. That's what my grandma got. When I did it, that's my grandma. She got her an hour. So you're gonna get an hour
I fucking
too.
love it. I love it. I love it. My grandmother on my mom's side, she fought ovarian cancer for a fucking year and never went through chemo. Didn't take a fucking ounce of chemo. Nothing. And it's that fucking, it's the Irish blood.
Yep.
She's fucking Irish and from Queens of all things. So, she'll joke around. She used to joke around about here and there. It's like, not today, God. It's just, I did that when I was with my trainer, when he was making me do like tire pushes of like 230 pounds, like back and forth, like 5 times. And I had to catch my breath here and there and just looked at the ceiling and go, not today, God. It's just, I'll still do that if ever I'm just like, accidentally trip over a piece of like concrete or like I almost bashed my head on the floor. I'm like, not today.
See, I'm gonna be that's gonna be me. I can just see it, even like like I mentioned moments ago about the energy drinks and having literally my heart. I mean, I could literally, my heart was racing, and I mean, I was just I thought I was gonna die. But I'm one of those guys, just like you said, not today.
Not today.
Nobody wants me, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and one of these days somebody's gonna pull the plug.
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
yeah, I'll take Mike.
Megan just texted me something. I don't know if I have permission to tell this story, but it's kind of funny to talk about here and there. So, Megan got attacked by. She got a new job.
Right.
She was working as a baker, and then she's working at an animal shelter now.
Nice.
One of the dogs attacked her.
Oh no.
She's okay. She's okay.
Yeah.
Her arm's intact. Thank fuck. That was the first thing that came to my mind, was like, oh my God, is her arm intact?
Well, of course.
Is she going to be like Captain Hook for the rest of her life? I'm just fucking with you, but like she's
coming down the aisle, one arm.
with a hook, just like, I'm sorry, babe, love you, but this is funny as shit. She's
like,
okay.
That's a good catch, Dan.
She's okay. No, she knows I was joking with her about this. She's
right.
Fine.
No,
but no, she's okay. She's okay.
That's
She's
good,
finally. She has a few bruises. She had to get stitches in her arm, because the dog bit into her arm. But what saved her was her jacket.
Wow.
The jacket did not have any teeth marks or teeth holes. So Columbia jackets. Columbia.
I heard they're really good jackets.
So
A friend of mine has one.
stop. That was my first thought. The hook hand. Sorry. I'm sorry. Oh shit. She's gonna get pissed at me. I'm sorry. It was just it's a fun story. It's a traumatic story. I was scared too.
Well,
I was
sure you
scared
were.
too. I was petrified. I was fucking petrified. She doesn't know this. I was like trying my best not to fucking freak the fuck out while driving her mom over to go get her. It's just
Well, you didn't know what could have happened. I mean, you didn't know.
no.
what
I
was
was
going on.
I'm not gonna lie. I was terrified. I was fucking terrified.
No, I'm sure. No, I would be too.
Terrified. But no, what kept me calm was like, she's a tough cookie. She's the daughter of a police officer. She's okay. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna be okay.
Right.
If anything happens, you take care of her ass. It's obviously. Because she got the ring on her finger. As long as she doesn't eat the ring hand, everything's okay. It's just... oh shit. No, but all jokes aside, she's okay. But no, we're not laughing at the moment, babe. We're not. We're making jokes. It's okay. I'm sure you made jokes too. You did, motherfucker. Listen, I will joke all the time and say, "Oh, that's why I rode the short bus most of my life."
Pretty much.
Listen, we all do.
Yeah, we do.
We all do. If you're not joking about some traumatic experiences in your life, what the fuck's up with you?
Dude, I'll do that all the time about myself.
Oh,
I don't
it's
care.
the fucking best. It's the best. Oh, it's the fucking best.
I have no shame in that.
No, I have no shame in that too. What the fuck? So, have you been on Twitter? Have you been on Twitter a lot?
I have now with me not working much, yes.
I am not gonna lie. I have thought about deleting Twitter off my phone.
I'm getting to that point, yes.
I'm getting to that point. So it's
Well, I'm gonna hear your thoughts, and then I'm gonna kind of probably add to that.
this isn't even like, whatever side of the coin you are, I don't really care. But it's more the fact that no matter, it's all social media as a whole. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's always so negative in either way. Sadness, anger, frustration, blah, blah, blah. It's negative stuff. And I did a podcast a couple months ago with Unfiltered Discussions, and that was a fun time. And he mentioned something, B word, Brian Howard mentioned something that you're just enjoying life. I'm like, deep down, I'm like, I got to, because you got to enjoy life. You know?
Of course.
What's the point of life if you're not fucking enjoying it? You know, some people may enjoy it one way or another. That's fine.
Mhm.
That's fine. But if you're constantly going on like social media to bitch and complain about shit that's going on in your life, like, get a fucking diary. Get a diary, for God's sakes. Like, write your thoughts in there, and then, I have a couple journals here and there that I'll... They're like these journals that if you just write them down, rip the page on, you burn it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking awesome. And I'll do that every now. I'll just like, granted, I'll do some different shit where I'll take a hammer and I'll slam it on a metal table here and there. Okay, I'm better, but not the most healthy thing to do in the world. But at the same point, I found a way how to get Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the YouTube and TikTok. I post show clips on there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like, I just don't fucking find myself the joys of social media just are not there. Because you and I both work our asses off. You and I are both busy as shit.
Yep.
And sometimes we're lucky to get on Twitter or some shit, but even then, like, don't you find yourself like dwelling and just the negativity just takes over your fucking soul? Like, why? It must be, I'm gonna repeat this again. I said this on Seahawks sessions. It must be really hard being that miserable of a fucking person. It must be really difficult.
Well, no, I'm with you on that one. I mean, like right now, I could be scrolling, which I am for the most part. I'm just trying to catch up on what took place in New Orleans, but
Yeah.
my thing is this, and it goes with Facebook. It goes, Instagram. I'm hit and miss on there. I'm more scrolling than I am probably posting, but and YouTube is whatever I shows I have, and I'm trying to get the show clips on, but I mean, but going back to Twitter, and even Facebook for that matter, but Twitter, I mean, it's getting to the point. My frustration with Twitter is this, or X, whatever you want to call it. My frustration is just two things. Number one, it's going to sound weird because we're guys, but
Whatever.
at the same time, it's getting irritating. I've never seen so many sex bots out there.
I've seen too many titties in my life.
God Almighty! Like I said,
oh God,
it's nothing wrong with them by any means.
Listen, we're all adults here. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I mean, it's
fine. This is going on YouTube for God's sake. You know how many BB Rex? You know how many Jennifer Lopez videos and BB Rex videos are out there? For God's sakes, it's fine.
But dang.
Yeah,
Elon, get this thing under control, buddy.
I'm sure he secretly follows them.
Oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure
he does. We don't kink shame here, ladies and gentlemen. we don't kink shame here, ladies and gentlemen. I figured out how to do that. I'm proud of that.
There's that, but no, going back to.
I'm proud of myself for that.
Going back to what you said though, is there's a lot of negativity because here's the deal. I can scroll through and I can, don't have to be anything. Now with the inauguration of President Trump coming up here in a few weeks, now we get. Well, first of all, this leads to this. I've never seen a country. It is practically, if you're a Republican, you hate the Democrats. If you're the Democrats, you hate the Republicans. I remember.
Who the fuck cares?
Even 8 years ago, I'll go back to when Trump's first inauguration was. We weren't that divided.
No.
Now all of a sudden we're just and I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying Dan is. I'm just making a story out of it, guys. So don't calm down. But if Dan was a Democrat, I can't stand Dan. He's a Democrat and X, Y, and Z and blah 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 blah. And then I'm gonna go on Twitter and torch him a new one.
I am what you would call a realist. I am what you would call a realist.
Right. And vice versa, where Mike's this, and blah 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 blah. And so it's just sad. I mean, we just can't.
It is sad.
I mean, if I had an issue with, if I had an issue with Joe Biden, I should have a right and respectfully should be able to post it without 29 million people. Oh, you're a blah 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 blah. Or if I did it vice versa with the Trump, you're blah blah blah. It's just
what happened to opinions?
Man.
But who said it? Ricky Gervais? Just because you're offended doesn't make you right.
Right.
Right? Just because you're offended doesn't make you right.
Well, and it goes to, if I want to, I'm just making assumption. I'm just making a story out of this whole thing. If I'm going to go take a picture of me shirtless, which first of all, I'm not doing that. But if I was to, and post it, well, that's my God-given right. Now,
I'll flex my arms, but I won't pose.
yeah,
as a
I mean,
shirtless.
I'm not gonna.
I got
don't
nice
even-
arms. I will say that to myself. But
I don't even take a shirtless picture to begin with, let alone for anybody to begin. I mean, period. So you're not gonna get that anyway. It's just everybody's too soft, but negative. But going back to social media is just it's been too negative, and
it's so
Facebook's
bad.
not too far, and Facebook ain't too far down the road because it's getting to the point. Well, babe, so and so's get to go on this, and why can't we go on this? And then this relationship partner is just. But Twitter, I don't know. I know it's big for me. I know it's what I utilize to get people on the show. So I know I'm kind of I'm trying to scope that out. But at the same time, I'm like, man, it's getting bad.
It's getting bad, and I remember. What was it like? Some celebrity or some shit. I can't enjoy my life because of our president. Like, whoa, that's a little far fetched, don't you think? Because I'm with you on this part. Like, I'm a realist in this case.
Mm-hmm.
I don't judge you based off of your sexuality or your political beliefs or whatever the fuck. I will judge you based off your character. If you are a good character, then you are permitted to join the council of stupidity. If not, well, go fuck your. Jeez, go fuck yourself. You're that way. So there's other. That's what it should be. That's what it should be.
No, you're right.
It's like, hey, just like, I will be frank with you. I have gay friends. I have lesbian friends. I have hung out with lesbians in the past. I've hung out with gay individuals in the past. I've hung out with trans people in the past. I've hung out with Republicans, Democrats, whatever the fuck. I don't care what's under your pants. I do not give a shit. If you are a good vibe all around, I'm like, okay, you are good to me. If you're good to me, I'm good to you. I don't give a shit what your religious beliefs, creeds, whatever the fuck. I do not care. If you're a good person, that's all I care about. And that's the way, to my personal opinion, that's the way it should be. But no, we are so incredibly fucking divided over the stupidest of shit. Do you see people arguing over like video game graphics? Like, for God's sakes.
Well, it was on Twitter. I didn't even chime in. I just read the tweets and eventually got tired of reading and moved on. But there was some, I don't know who these people were, and that's another thing. I don't know how all of a sudden we're starting to get random people. I don't know who they are. The For You page. Well, this is ridiculous. But anyway, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Since when did the For You page even get created? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
Dude,
whatever.
Do you know how many fucking people? Do you know how many people I have argued with various individuals regarding like video game graphics and stuff like that?
It's insane.
Oh my god! Like, so you can kind of see. You can see the gaming collection that's right there, right? You see what's right there. So you have the Series X, the original Xbox, the PS4 is below it, Wii, GameCube, PS2, Xbox One, Switch, and the 360's right there. Okay? I have a lot of shit. We can agree on that. I have a lot of shit.
Right.
I genuinely enjoy my gaming collection because, granted, I have some games that people may think suck or people think they're great. Some games I enjoy, some games I don't. Okay, that's fine. Do you enjoy them? Great. Some people enjoy Need for Speed or some shit. I don't know. Like, there's some random gaming franchise in there. Like, the perfect example. Like, who the fuck cares? Do you enjoy the game? Okay, whatever. Do you enjoy this part? Like, music. Music fans are atrocious. Atrocious. Because you can't even get an opinion off about certain music tastes. Like, you and I are probably good examples of this. You and I have old soul types of music, right? Whether it's like the Allman Brothers, Skinner, Led Zeppelin, blah, blah, blah. You talk to like someone who's, a little younger than us or younger than me, say like, oh, like 50 Cent's the greatest rapper ever lived.
Oh, Lord, no.
Oh, Lord, no. Absolutely not. Love 50, love 50 Cent, but no.
Nope, not even close.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, no, I mean,
It's all opinion based.
Well, of course.
It's all opinion based, and it's sad. It's really sad. But where it's like, hey, like, I have an opinion on something, therefore I'm right. No, the fuck it doesn't. Absolutely not. No, the fuck it doesn't. I like polka dots in my shirt, therefore I am correct. No. We're in the I'm gonna die on this fucking hill whether you like it or not. And that's never how it should be. But whatever. Just if it makes you happy, go for it. I don't kink shame. Whatever.
Well, no, I mean, and it goes back to, prime example. Ooh, if I should say this, I won't go into anyway. I don't care.
If I get in trouble for this, I have no shame. To be fair, I am not in the Belly Up YouTube page, so that does help.
No, you're good. I don't care because screw, I'll say anyway. Like in my position, here we go. I know deep inside I really don't need help, and I'm not gonna really ask for help when it comes to what I do at for my position. Now we're going to this opinion thing, so I want people to know where we're siding with this here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my opinion. My opinion is no, I really don't need no help. Now maybe during football because there's so many moving pieces, but the overall context is Mike is good. Don't mess with Mike. Just let Mike be Mike. Let Mikey be on his own island.
Which is fine.
Just let him go.
Which is literally fine.
That's my opinion, and people should respect it. However, well, X, Y, and Z, and then you have a whole argument about X, Y, and Z, and well, whether or not Mikey needs help or doesn't need help, or little Johnny over here,
whatever.
I'm like,
if they want help, they will go and ask. Jeez.
I mean, it goes back to, and just like in sports, well, what's the best defense? Well, I don't know why you would say. I mean, we get so defensive anymore, but
yeah,
I don't know. And you made a great thing out of it. We're die on this hill. That's kind of where we're at in society, especially when it comes to social media and opinions.
I know a ton of people. I've known a ton of people in the past. Two of which you know.
Mm-hmm.
You have known before in the past.
Mm-hmm.
That are the epitome of I will die on this hill no matter what.
Yep.
And since then, I have realized that I do not need said bullshit in my life. Because I am trying to enjoy my life. Why the fuck am I going to enjoy my life with stress?
Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the fucking truth, right? And I've also therapy has helped. I will no shame in that. My therapy sessions have helped a lot when it comes to certain topics, including, the whole deadline mentality, or just invested in the grind, as some people would say. And, I've listened to the Ramsey show numerous fucking times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a subscriber of the Ramsey podcast. I fucking love that shit. And one of the tips that has taught me is, one of the tips that Dave Ramsey preaches is, gazelle intensity, blah, 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 blah. Don't spend more than what you make, blah, blah, blah. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. He would always say shit like, hey, just gazelle intent, blah, blah, blah. But what helps me feel better in that regard is I listen to these calls and they go like, oh, I'm $20,000 in credit card debt, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whew, that makes me feel better. So, and I will have no shame in saying this. I have a little bit of debt, no problem. I know you and I can pay off our debt in a matter of months.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't need to know yours. That's okay. But we're such an instant gratification society where it's like we have to get shit done now and get shit done yesterday. But when we get shit done yesterday, we're not able to enjoy what's important today. Right?
Right.
So what I call this the whole deadline mentality. And my therapist would say something like, why are you worried about getting something done tomorrow if you don't enjoy today?
Mm-hmm.
And I go, yeah, you're probably right. Why am I stressing out about stupid shit? So, and granted, there's some shit here and there that I do worry about and stuff like that, but we all do. We worry about everything. But at the same point, as I said before, we're such an instant gratification society where it's like if we want something done or want something bought, we'll get it today or get it yesterday. With what we think is zero fucking consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And then it later comes to bite us in the fucking ass. Holy shit, does it bite us in the ass. Oh boy. Don't believe me? Check your interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That helps me feel better. Is I listen to these phone calls and shit like that. I'm $2 million in debt. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, and no, I listen to Dave Ramsey a lot, and even the what I call the other guys that's associated with them. But
Yep.
I know I have one of his books, but might be.
Yeah, you have Campbell's book, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to that. I've been listening to his recent book recently, and he's been very helpful in that regard. And if I can give so many tips out there, it would be set small goals for yourself. Don't set one big giant fucking goal for yourself. Like, set small goals. Hey, I want to have this much paid off in 2 months. Okay, do that. Because I don't have cable.
No.
I don't have cable. I pay for YouTube TV. The only reason I have YouTube TV is for the football season.
Yep.
That's it. That's already it. And it's to watch the Seahawks games because I do not get them on Long Island. I do not.
No. Mm-mm.
Like, you have to, you get the Broncos games in Oklahoma, right?
Only if they play Kansas City.
Dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get the Sunday ticket.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so you get the
unless
Sunday
they're a
ticket.
national Thursday or Sunday night, Monday night. Yeah, regional coverage unfortunately doesn't get here. We're a big
You're big Cowboys, right?
Cowboys on Fox, Kansas City on CBS.
Oh, it's so dumb.
Yeah,
But we
Two of
get
the
the
most
Jets and the
gayest teams.
Giants over here. How do you think I feel? Oh shit! How do you think John feels? He gets the Giants all the time.
Lord.
Oh, good Lord. God bless you, John. But
Good old
but
John.
yeah, we love him. He's the best. But but my point was after the football season's done, I'm canceling YouTube TV.
Mm-hmm.
And that saves me $150 a month.
Yep.
Done. No fucking problem. And then I get the hockey season and stuff like that, and that's no problem. But I'm still fighting through it in my head where I would go and say, hey, I can get this done and no problem. I can get this done by June. If that. It's not that bad. It's not like, oh, I have 7,000 in debt. No, that's the average. Did you know that's the average U.S. Credit card debt in the United States?
I'm surprised it's not more.
I'm surprised too. That's the average credit card debt for a United States citizen is $7,000 as of 2024.
Yeah, I
That is
figured at least. I would have said at least 9 or 10.
That's unfucking believable. Now, keeping in mind here, a majority that's probably low-income citizens that pay,
Right.
Put their groceries on there, put their gas on there, blah blah blah. And I completely get it.
Trying to keep their head above water.
Yeah, which is Dave Ramsey would say shit like, "Oh, you're not rich, you're broke." So you're trying to be rich. You're broke. Which, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you're wrong. And oh, we have a comment. Like, oh, we got a comment over here by Lazy Mood. Oh, yeah. What's up, brother? Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the Department of Bullshit. Like, there's nothing wrong with admitting you're false. There's nothing wrong with admitting, hey, you messed up. People have credit card debt. There's nothing wrong with there's wrong with that. But you know what I mean. There's wrong and there's nothing wrong. But you know that you can pay it if you set small goals and say, hey, I want to have, I want to put 500 on this this month. And at the next month, I'll put 700 on there. And then the next month, I'll put like 300 on there to give myself a break. There's nothing wrong with budgeting. You budget for your life. Well, I get myself $100 each week for me.
Right.
Whether it's my various tattoos, whether it's I want to get a new game, whether it's I want to invest in the podcast, like this camera, whether it's I want to do stuff for my fiance, whatever. Nothing wrong with that. But don't drive yourself insane just for the sake of, oh, I got to get this done now. Like, no. Don't do that and shit. Yeah, like it's easy to spend money that's not yours.
Well, absolutely.
That's correct. That's that's fucking true. Cash is king. I will tell you a story. So, I asked my family one time. It was my mother or some shit. Like, hey, do you pay cash or card when you guys go out to dinner? Both, but we don't use the credit card. Really? So you'd be like, if cash wasn't king, there wouldn't be cash discounts at gas stations.
Right.
Correct. So if you give yourself, it's also it is easier to spend more on cash than it is on like debit card.
Well, of course, yeah.
It's easier somehow, but also you'd be surprised to know that if you have cash or debit card, you can build it up over time. It's easier to do that. It is way easier to accumulate debt than it is to build up cash, however.
Right.
So, but in the end, it all takes time. Whoa. It all takes time. It all takes time, Mike, right?
Oh, absolutely, dude.
So,
I mean, just like mine, it's what I got some that's mainly because I had to pay some stuff off. I just went ahead and used that, but made no sense doing that, but whatever. But I mean, I get, I'm not knocking anybody that, has 12, 15, 16,000 in credit card debt. I get it. Times are tough, but
it gets better.
Well, it does, yeah. And Dave Ramsey, one thing, kind of going off of what you said is, the way that what they call the snowball effect is, go off of the small one first, and then work your way, whatever. But it's and it goes back to that. Everybody wants to know what's the best way to start a new year, and it's consistency. And,
it's consistency. That's it. You got this. If you don't think you got this, trust me, you fucking do. And
absolutely.
There will be times, there will be moments where you think you need to give up. And all of a sudden, this glass right here turns into a bottle. And then you will regret it.
And the bottles goes into cases.
Well, I was thinking more of the whiskey bottle, but that's a whole different discussion. But like, I haven't told you this. This is something I haven't told you. So, a few years ago, I think it was like 2-3 years ago, I was going through a drinking habit, and it was bad. to the point where I was emotionally drinking myself to sleep most weeks. Wasn't fun. Was not fun. And then I remember very clearly, I don't know if it was like friend or something walked into my apartment and he saw just me laying on my couch, blanket over me, just, with the bottle in my hand. And he dumped all of my liquor down the drain.
Mm.
And that man is the best man at my wedding.
Nice.
So I will always give him credit for a lot of shit. But if you ever feel like shit's getting too overwhelming, play some music, play some calm music. That's what I do. Your methods may be different. If you ever think shit gets too rough, there's always a better way to solve your emotional problems. There's always a better way. And that doesn't involve hurting yourself, hurting others, drinking yourself to sleep, or drugging yourself to sleep. There's always a better way. Always a better way. And you and I are perfect examples of that.
Yep.
Like where we would get overwhelmed, where we get overworked, where we get burnt out, and we need something to just cool our minds. Don't do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's always an easier way, guys. There's always an easier way. Guys and gals alike, there's always an easier way. And you are loved. You are cared for. Don't forget that. Do not forget that shit. So, there is that. Oh, shit. Shit's been fucking wild, dude. It has been fucking wild. Look at us. Look at us. Like, you're doing fucking great. You're killing it. I'm killing it. I'm getting fucking married in a year and 2 months. Holy shit. What a fucking ride. What a ride. It has been wild.
Well, speaking of wild and crazy and killing it and so on and so forth, what plans do you got for the podcast in 25?
Well, you have time. I have time to BS.
Right.
I have the Staniel Smooth show, which is a solo show I do.
Mm-hmm.
Which I got the live stream thing working more, clipping the show more and stuff like that. I'm trying to get more clips in here involved.
That's what I gotta do too. Yeah.
Seahawk Sessions as a new show I'm doing, which is fucking fun as shit. A lot of comments on those podcasts. A lot of angry comments. Go subscribe, people. At the Time to BS with Staniel Smooth YouTube page, and then BS Sessions. I'm trying to get more involved more. But my goal is to get 2 to 3 recording sessions a week of at minimum, well, actually at max 3 hours recording.
Nice.
Whether it's Time to BS, Seahawk Sessions, and the Staniel Smooth show, 2 to 3 recording sessions a week. Because I love doing this. I fucking love doing it. Before I got into my current position, I wanted to get into radio. I told you this. I told a lot of people this. You and I wanted to get into radio. Because the radio business is where we fell in love with this crap.
Yep.
Here we are. I mean, I know you're killing it, dude. You got what, 3,000 subscribers right now on YouTube?
Something like that.
You're fucking killing it, dude. And there's only one way to go, and that's up. So, and the best tip I ever received when it comes to the podcasting room was just be you. Don't be Joe Rogan. Just be who you are. And if it means you have to be an authentic fucking asshole, then do it. People may not like it. Whatever. As long as you enjoy it. That's the matter. How about you, dude?
Well, I mean, dude, you get, especially when it comes to podcasts, because I mean, that's like we like Joe Rogan because of Joe Rogan. I mean,
yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't. But no, I mean, for the podcast this year, in the works of the air raid's about to join a network. Just finalizing some stuff on that end, but
oh shit.
But no, it's got some good plans, hoping to grow YouTube even more. but guest wise, we're getting January starting to slowly go and starting to get some good guests coming on. But no, I mean I know I got a few people that's wanting to do a collab, live. So I don't know what that may look like in February, but so we'll see on that one. But now just continue to grow and be more consistent when it comes to the shows weekly. For sure one, maybe two a week, but definitely at least get the one in. And like you said, the clips, I think that's going to be a big part, just getting the drawing and the attention and so on and so forth. But now just got some ideas I'm brewing, just kind of trying to figure out how to work
That's
that in
it.
mind. But it's all going to work out. But I like where
That's
it's
it.
going. But I believe it's going to be a good year for the podcast.
That's it. That's all it is that you are doing what is you're doing what you want to do. And if people want to get in your head and go like, "Oh, this is what you should be doing," it's like, no, this is my fucking show, bitch. It's my show. It's my show, bitch. Whose name is on here? And like, I have Jack as the co-host and stuff like that in Time to VS. Like I do Staniel Smooth show solo. I do Seahawks sessions with Dustin, and he knows this and stuff like that. Doing no credentials required. With Ryan McCarthy. Is that in the end, it's like what you want to do is like what you think is right. Because then this is your baby. This is your baby. And I think we as people want to get validation or improvement from people that is not just ourselves. I'm a victim of this. We all do it. We all do this, where we want to get validation from other people that we know what we're doing is right. And that can be a very dangerous thing. It's a very dangerous thing to do. But I don't know what advice I can give, because I'm not the I'm not picture perfect and stuff like that. I'm not even perfect. I don't want to be perfect. You know who's perfect? Nobody. And I'm going to piss off the religious community. God himself ain't perfect. You know why? He made your ass.
Never heard that one. That's interesting.
My grandmother. And she was Irish Catholic. She was Irish Catholic, and she would tell me that, and I stole that from her, and she would say like, even God himself ain't perfect. You want to know why? He made your ass.
Wow,
It's like, well, it's true though. It's true when you think about it, because perfection in the end is flawed.
Right.
Because the Bible always talks about like, oh, God is perfect, God's perfect, Jesus is perfect, blah blah blah. It's like, if we're so perfect, why are we? If we're so perfect in God's image, why are we so flawed? You know? You ever thought about that?
Well,
it makes sense though, right? You know?
I see your point, yeah. But also goes back, I'm thinking more like on my end. I'm thinking on my behalf, because I know what I've done, let's say even the last 20 years. That puts me at 16. Let's go, maybe not that far back. Let's go 18. Yeah, let's go 18. The last 18, let's go 19. At least, 18, 20 years now. I know what I've done and all that stuff. So, but that's a whole nother topic and show and everything else. But talking about wanting your demons to come out, boy, that's
well. Then let me
right
ask
there.
you this. Let me ask you this to cut you off.
No, you're good.
If you could go back in time, this is the question I've asked before to different people. If you could go back in time and change one or two things in your life, but those 1 to 2 things made you the person who you are today, would you still change them? Well, would you? Most people wouldn't. Most fucking people would not change that because
See, that's an interesting. No, I like that question because it's interesting because obviously, and I know what I did, and I'm not going to discuss them, but and yeah, I
that's
think you
fine.
know some of it, but um, even like all those years that took place, that's interesting because I still live with regret on that. At the same time, like in that question is the fact that if it wasn't for those, would it make you who you are now? That's
Correct.
hmm.
Correct. Because like I think you're like, and I don't need to know what those things are because that's your thing. That is your thing to deal with. I don't need to deal with it for you. And you know that.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, are you a better person because those moments happened, or are you a better person because you learned from those mistakes? And we have all made mistakes.
Oh, absolutely.
No one is fucking perfect.
No,
We are
we're
all
gonna
flawed, which
well,
goes back to my previous point.
right. I
Are
would
you
I would say it definitely made me um definitely make things appreciate more.
mm-hmm.
Better person. If it wasn't for my demons, my regrets, but at the same time matured from that stuff because that eliminated, a few addictions that led to all that. I would imagine say so, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like we all learn from our mistakes. We all learn what we want to be as people. We all learn from said mistakes what we don't want to be as people. And some mistakes hurt more than others in terms of ourselves or even others. And but if you could go back, but which brings up my point, if you could go back in time and change that one or two things in your life, but they made you who you are today as a better person, would you still change them? I don't think I wouldn't. I wouldn't because I wouldn't be able to appreciate and celebrate life the way that I do and be more sympathetic. You know what I mean?
Right. No, hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll go back and erase if I could, but at the same time, would that's a good
And
thinker
yeah, I know, right? We're getting some Staniel Smooth level wisdom here.
because then, see, I want to say, but then would that take place down the road? And that you can't really say yes or no because you
Nope.
don't know.
How the fuck would you know what would
Well,
happen
yeah,
like 10 years from now? How would you know?
exactly.
You wouldn't know. That's why we keep our expectations low. That's why we keep our expectations low and get excited for what could happen. You know what I mean?
Right. Hmm.
So, and I've told this story maybe a few times, but probably not on the podcast. And if I do feel up to talking about it, we'll definitely see down the road. But I made some shitty mistakes
Hmm.
in different relationships with women over the course of the last 6 years.
Right.
It's been 6 years. Actually, it's been 5 years. So, over the course of the last 5, 6 years, I have made some different mistakes with different women in different relationships. Do I regret them? Yes, of course I do. Do I dwell on the regret? No. Does it bother me sometimes? Yes,
Hmm.
sometimes it's normal. It's completely normal to ask yourself, what the fuck did I do wrong to lead myself to this point? Would I change them? Is the question. No, I would not. Because I'm gonna get really deep. If I changed those memories, if I changed those instances of the moments that I regret the most, I probably would not be here. And I mean that. I would not be here. I would not have met Megan. I would not have been in this apartment. I would not have Donut. I would not be getting married. Straight up. I probably would have driven myself batshit insane to the point of no return. And I mean that. You, probably different story. But maybe similar. We will see. But regret's a weird thing to where, you know, you're a Star Wars fan, you'll get this. Fear and regret are paths to the dark side. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and eventually hate leads to suffering. That's a tattoo. That is a tattoo I'm getting, by the way.
Nice.
Somewhere I'm getting it. I'll figure it out down the road. But if you dwell on said regrets to the point where you're driving yourself insane, like, oh, I wish I never did this, and then all of a sudden you're a bottle of this deep. Well, what the fuck was the point?
Right.
What was the point? What was the point of dwelling in that regret? What did it solve? Nothing. It solved nothing. It all it did was get you drunk, hammered, and then fucking hang over to high hell and back. Solved nothing. You know what I mean?
Well,
so I think in your case, if I could give some advice to you as someone who is significantly younger than you, not by that much, 10 years, but 9 years really. But what are you, 36, 37?
I'll be 37 in March.
Oh, okay. You're 10 years younger than me. If I could give anyone advice, use those past memories as a teaching lesson for you. For what you don't want to be in your life. There's nothing wrong with, looking back at those memories and saying, what could I have done differently? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but in terms of like dwelling on the past and regretting those memories, that's a dangerous game to go down. But this is why I enjoy these conversations, because it allows people, including myself, to get deep into thought and just ask, what the fuck? But I would say, enjoy the life that you have, not the one you want or could have had. The coulda, shoulda, woulda situation,
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
Well, for everybody that's listening, whether it's tonight or down the road, 10 years down the road, who knows? And who knows, 10 years down the road, I don't know if Apple Podcasts are going to be around anymore. I don't know. But
we could be cyborgs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it could be something else by then. Who knows? But
have you seen The Matrix?
No, I mean, my word of advice, even going from, let's just say, the last 20 years, but is obviously be careful of your surroundings. Your first decision is probably your right decision, and respect others, and do not, if you have any addiction, get out of it before it causes more pain and more issues down the road.
Yeah. But we all have addictions to something.
Oh, yeah.
Us human beings are very addicted personalities. Nothing wrong with that at all. How you handle it defines you as a person. We're men. We're men. We all have addictions to.
Well, of course.
For God's sakes, I had a poster of Pamela Anderson from Baywatch for years. We all remember Baywatch.
Oh, yeah.
Don't lie.
Don't
lie, ladies. Don't lie, ladies and gents. We all know Baywatch.
You don't know Baywatch. It's on YouTube, I'm sure.
On YouTube. I'm a proud graduate with a master's degree in bullshit from YouTube University. I've seen Baywatch. But No, so I had a poster growing up. I had a poster back in high school. We were in Pennsylvania, me and my family, and we came across like the strip mall or some shit. And they were giving us free posters, and one of them was Pamela Anderson wrapped up, clothless, wrapped up in the American flag. And I remember giving a salute and said, "I want this poster." It's fucking awesome. It was great. It was fucking fantastic. But I also had pictures of the Jets cheerleaders back in the day. It was fucking awesome. But jealousy's a bad thing too.
Jealousy will run you to the ground.
Oh God, it will. Oh good God, it will. Like
Bad.
Jealousy and greed.
Mm-hmm.
Greed's one of the 7 deadly sins for a fucking reason. And
Yep.
We all get jealous of something. We all get prideful of some shit. There's nothing wrong with that, But you can use it as fuel, use it as motivation and stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, of course, because I mean, going back to the opening show was, get the last 3-4 months, from August to November, even into December, but really, November, but it was more at this point, you keep pushing yourself and for good reason, but at the same time, greedy becomes, even though I wasn't getting no extra money out of it, because when your salary, you're stuck on that's your 8 hours, your 8 hours, don't matter if you work 15, 16, 17, you're getting paid for 8. So it wasn't the greed on the money part, but greed can go to a lot of things, and
of course,
and you let that get to your head, and like I said, mine was isolation, others can be God knows what, and it's just a bad thing to go down, bad road to go down, especially if you start isolating or whatever else people do. So
yeah. And the worst thing you can do, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the worst thing you can do is isolate yourself from, good people. Don't isolate yourself from your support system, wifey, kiddos,
right.
good friends, good people, and stuff like that. And you can talk to me about this shit. Like, I'll listen to you. I'll be honest with you. But more importantly, I will listen to you. And, because that's what good friends do and shit like that. But, and I know it can go to you with certain shit that, knock on wood, I have kids down the road, and I can go to you about shit with kids here and there. And you've said this before. Victory's your fucking miracle baby.
Oh yeah.
She's your little miracle. And again, knock on fucking wood, I get to, if that does happen to me, if what happened with Victory does happen with me and Megan and stuff like that, and we do want kids down the road and stuff, but God for fucking bid that does happen, I can go to you for advice on how to handle said situations when it comes to kids, or how to handle stress, or blah blah blah. Or you can go to me when it comes to handling stress and stuff like that. But before it close up, what I could say is have your support system, have your tight-knit support system. You have Wong, you have Herman Raj, you got me, you got Wifey, you got Alita, you got peeps all around. We got peeps all around. Yep. Find your support system. Find your people that you can go to and say, hey, I'm not doing okay. I need to talk to you about something. I think you are the perfect person to go talk to. Find that. Find that person. Find that person, whoever the fuck it may be. I don't care who it is. Could be a rock. Could be Charlie Brown. I got a rock.
Never
Bad
know.
example, but you know what I mean.
Never know.
Never know, and that's I fucking love doing these shows. I love doing BS sessions. It's great. So that being said, Mike, where can they find you, bro?
Hey, Twitter is really the best one. Air Raid Mike, and my personal, and then the show at Air Raid Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Air Raid Attack Podcast. That's going to be your best options. And hey, hit me up on there and let's chat about whatever comes to mind.
Of course, dude. My name is Staniel Smooth. I'm coming to you from the lovely beaches of Long Island, New York. This has been BS Sessions Volume 41 with Air Raid Attack Podcast's very own Michael McClintock. He's coming to you from a fucking Midwest city, Oklahoma. And I will see you all in this life and most certainly the next one. Cheers, guys.